Good morning, coaches. This is Coach Anthony Williams, founder and CEO of Connected Athletics. We are a new startup company based in Austin, Texas, that is focused on creating a platform to connect athletes with other athletes to help them grow their network, to connect athletes with college coaches during the recruiting process, and to help athletes build their brand as a transition from high school to college and then either into a pro career in football or into the career of their major. We have got a very special class of 23 prospect that I got to know pretty well this last year. He's a defensive end from Nolan Catholic High School up in the Dallas area in Texas. He was also played on my FBU Adidas Freshman All-American game back in December out in Naples, Florida. Say hello to Kaleb James. Kaleb, how you doing this morning?
Good, Coach. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you since we left Florida back in December. But tell me right now, we're in this COVID-19 environment, which is unprecedented. Tell us what you're doing to stay in shape and stay in contact with your teammates and your coaches.
So I've been in the weight room in my garage. I've been lifting, doing workouts in there, and then there's a field about like a 5-minute walk from my house that I've been getting field work in and running around in.
Okay. What are you doing? So let's talk about your workout in more detail. So there's obviously the strength, there's the speed and quickness, there's endurance, and then there's technique. Kind of break down those 4 areas and tell us what you're doing to stay ready for the fall season.
Okay, so Monday and Tuesday, it's like strength, weight room stuff. And then Wednesday, we'll go out to the field and I'll do like endurance stuff. And then Thursday, I'll go back out to the field and do like technique, hand stuff. And then Friday, I'll be back in the weight room lifting again.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, before we get into learning more about you and your story and your family, let's look at your highlight video, which is the video that I use to evaluate you to choose you for the All-American game. I'd love to have you just kind of commentate and tell us about what you're thinking, your technique, and certain situations of those videos. Okay, you ready to do that?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's bring it up here.
All right, so this clip, we were coming on like a comeback drive and we were down pretty much like the whole game. And then so I hit him with like a cross chop, and then I kept going, and I hit the quarterback's arm, which made him throw an interception to Frankie.
That's big time. Splitting the double team there.
And then this one was against James Brockermeyer, 5-star. I think I hit him with a cross chop again, and then a rip to get the sack. This one was our first game of the year. I think I just pushed off of him and then hit a cross chop again.
Kaleb, talk about the importance of your first step in your motor. That's one of the things that stood out about you. Talk a little bit about that.
So like my first step is always pretty quick, and then I just like to get a punch, like try and get a punch on the offensive lineman, and then like if I see it's a pass play, then I'll cross chop off and maybe like hit a rip, and then then if it's a run play, I'll just contain and hold my gap.
Sounds good. I love seeing you on special teams. That's awesome.
Yeah, this one I just punched him and then ripped off once I saw that the ball declared to the other side.
Kaleb, do you play kind of inside and outside? Which do you have a preference, or it doesn't matter where you play?
I feel like both make me a better player, because like whenever I play inside, like then I'll do better outside, but then whenever I go back inside, I'll be doing better inside. So like I like both and playing both.
There you go.
This one was against Salina. I just ripped up and got the sack.
Caleb, how many other
It's,
freshmen were starters on that really talented Nolan Catholic team last year besides yourself? Were you the only one, or were there others? I know Noah was also a starter, wasn't he?
I think I think there was like 3 or 4 because
Okay.
I know Noah was a starter. I don't think Sergio was a starter, but he was a big time varsity player.
Uh huh.
And then um I think that's it.
Okay.
There's like 3 or 4. We had one talented wide receiver, but he left like middle of the season.
Okay. Let's talk about that. Let's dive in. I stopped the video here and came back, but talk about that. How that transition happened. You're coming in as an eighth grader, and next thing you know, you're on varsity. I know you have great size, but just tell us that story and how you ended up playing and starting and being second team all taps on varsity.
So funny story. So 8th grade FBU, um, the like my head coach of the FBU program, he introduced me to like one of the Nolan coaches, and I got in contact with them and started talking to them. And like a lot of players from our FBU team were gonna like transfer over to Nolan, and most of us did, but some of us like didn't go through with the decision. But I'm glad that I like went through with the decision and and got over to Nolan.
Okay. And then what was it like? Did you start on varsity to start out the fall practices, or did you jump right into varsity right away?
I kind of jumped right into varsity right away, right once we like ended strength and conditioning in the summer. There's like a moment where like I was like I didn't know if I was going to be on the JV or varsity squad, and then so I just proved myself and I made it to the varsity team.
Well, I know you have tremendous size, being 6'5", 230, already this young, but I got to ask you, you're going from eighth grade to varsity. What was that first play on varsity and the speed? What was it like in your experience? Were you just like, holy crap, these guys are big and fast and strong? Or were you like, hey, I can play at this level?
I was like I can play at this level because I think my first play I got knocked down and like then like I felt like it like I knew like the speed of the game, and I think the next play, even it's in my highlight clip, I just ripped up and then got the tackle in the backfield. So I knew like I could play with them and hang with the varsity team.
Okay, I like it. Let's switch gears here. Let's talk about your academics. Got the really strong 3.5 GPA. Tell us about the importance that you put on your academics.
Um like I really focus on my grades. I have all A's and B's right now. I'm currently like attending like a college prep school, so I think that'll get me ready for college and make me a better player when I get into college because I'll know how to prioritize my schoolwork and handle football at the same time.
I know it's very early, but do you have a favorite subject? Are you leaning more towards math or science or reading or English? What's kind of your favorite?
Uh, Probably my favorite this year is math. Like I've never liked math, but I really like my math teacher this year, and she's made it really easy for me.
Okay, let's shout out your math teacher. What's her name, and what does she do to kind of change your mindset about math as a subject?
Shout out Miss Lide. Um, she just she just like walks through every step of like the whole math like process. So like she'll like walk through every step with you, and like if you have like a question, like she'll sit down with you and like go through it with you.
Okay. Hey, let's talk about your once again, it's amazing to talk about you're going into your sophomore year. Talk to us about what do you consider your strengths and what are things you're going to work on in your sophomore season.
Oh, so strengths and weaknesses. I think my strengths are like I have good hand combat and like I can play both inside and the edge. Um, and then I have like a really good punch to the offensive lineman. And then I think like my like top weakness is probably my speed and my get off the ball.
So, but you've got 3 years to work on those things, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I mentioned it earlier, but me selecting you for the FBU Adidas Freshman All American game. Talk about that experience with playing against the other 59 top freshmen in the country. What was that experience like down in Naples?
That was a really good experience because I got to play with like kids my age, but they're also my size. So like it made me realize that there are other kids out there working as just as hard as me to like make it to where I am. And then it was also super fun just hanging with the guys
Do
throughout
you
the
still
week.
do you
And
still stay in contact with some of those guys that are blowing up right now as far as recruiting and staying in contact with them?
yes, sir. I think we have a group chat on Snapchat, and then we have a group chat on Twitter that we're all connected in and talking to.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
think all the Texas boys have a group chat like Braylon, Brody, Brennan, Bruce, Elijah, and me. I think we're all in a group chat.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Hey, let's talk about class 23 is obviously very talented. You got a firsthand look at some of the top kids across the country. Tell us how you plan to differentiate yourself as a DN or D tackle in the class 23 compared to all the other players you're competing against. What sets you apart?
I'll I'd probably say my technique. I've been working on my technique for like for like 2 years now. I've been training with a coach named Coach Tuck, and I've been going to him pretty much every weekend and working on my technique.
Okay. Um, I know it's very, I mean, you're not even officially in the recruiting period, but have you heard from any coaches? Have you got any mail from coaches, or if not, tell us what schools you're going to be interested in as you move into your junior and senior season.
Um, so I haven't gotten anything from coaches. I mean, and like when we were in school, I mean, I talked to a couple coaches, but um, I'm like wanting to hear from Ohio State, Florida, Arkansas, and like more schools. Um, but yeah.
Okay. Do you foresee yourself playing more? Let's say at the end of your high school career, are you going to focus on playing DN or D tackle at the next level?
Um, my high school coaches are pushing me more to play tackle, but I think I want to play defensive end too. So like I'll probably play more tackle this year than last year.
Okay. I met your dad down in Florida. He's got pretty good size. I mean, you're already 6'5". What do you think your height and weight will be by the time you graduate in 3 years?
Um, I'm probably gonna stay at 6'5". I might grow like maybe another inch to 6'6", but I'm trying to get to like um 250, 6'5", like 6'5", 6'6", 250 by the time I graduate.
And give these college coaches an idea. What size shoe do you wear right now? And is there pretty good height and size in your family? Parents, grandparents, brothers, uncles?
So I wear a size 14 right now, and yeah, there's always been pretty good size. I had a great grandpa that was like 7 foot, but I don't think I'll ever get close to that.
Yeah. Okay. One of the important things being a successful student athlete is the relationship that you have with your high school coaches. Talk to me a little bit about your relationship with your position coach and your head coach.
So I'm super tight with my position coach, Coach KJ Williams. Um, I can go to him for anything, and like he helps me like through like the whole season, and we make jokes and laugh about like everything. And then my head coach, um, he's always there for me, and like I go to him like if anything's going wrong in school or like if I need anything on and off the field, and he's always got me.
Okay. Talk to me about the relationship you have that's important that of a non coach on the staff. Maybe it's a trainer. You mentioned one of your teachers earlier, but maybe it's a counselor, a trainer, or somebody else that is taking part in your success so far.
So with the training staff, I got injured like halfway into the season, and I missed like 3 games. So like I got close with all like the trainers, and I was in the training room a lot. So I built really good relationships with them, and like I have really good relationships with my teachers, and I think all my teachers pretty much like me.
Good. You mentioned some of those schools earlier. What is it about those schools? What is going to be your criteria, 2, 3 years from now on what's going to help you select the school? Is it going to be scheme? Is it going to be distance from home? Is it going to be the culture, the family environment? What do you think is going to be important to you to help you make that decision?
So probably like the environment of like the place that I'm like selecting, and then also um like a culture that will like build me into a better player and develop me really, really well. And I also want like a team with like a winning attitude that goes after it and doesn't stop.
Okay, I like it. Tell me a little bit about, away from football. What are some of your interests? Do you like to hunt? Are you a fisherman? You like get out in the water, the lake? What do you do when you're not preparing for football?
If I'm not fishing, um, like I'm usually fishing, but then I'm lifting. So I'm like usually it's in the gym or I'm at the pond fishing or at the lake fishing.
Okay. And what type of fish do you like to fish? Get a preference, or you care? You don't care?
Right now it's probably bass.
Okay.
I like to fish for bass.
And do you know how to clean and process it after you catch it, or you leave that to your dad?
I just let them go back. I don't like eat them or
Okay,
anything.
going back in. I understand. So it's more sport for you.
Yeah.
Um, what other interest do you have outside of school besides fishing? Are you into video games? Are you spend a lot of time on your phone? What else do you do in your spare time?
I usually spend all the time on my phone. I don't usually play video games, but like when I play video games, I probably play like Madden or something.
What are some of you mentioned Snap earlier? What are some of your other favorite apps? Are you a Twitter guy? On TikTok? You Instagram? What are some of the apps you like to use?
I use Twitter a lot just for recruiting and like talking to my friends like from football and stuff. And then I use TikTok sometimes, and then uh my biggest thing is probably Instagram. I'm on Instagram a lot.
Okay. Tell us about, you mentioned your love of math, but what do you think your major is going to be in college? And then what do you want to do for a career once football is over, whenever that is?
Um my major will probably be like kinesiology. I want to major in kinesiology. I think that's just a really cool subject to
Yeah.
major in. And and then my minor is probably going to be some sort of business, probably like business management or like business tech.
Okay. And what do you want to own your own like physical therapy place or work at a hospital? And what are you thinking for a career after football?
Probably like on my own physical therapy place, or like there's one down the street that I would like to like work at.
Okay. Once again, still, you've got 3 years of high school left, but who is, give me the name of a couple players either in college or in the NFL that you pattern your game off of. Who do you want people to say, oh yeah, he reminds me of Aaron Donald or Von Miller? Who do you kind of look up to?
I look like my biggest idol right now is probably Chase Young, but I also look up to JJ Watt and Aaron Donald.
Those are two good ones right there. What is it about their game that you're trying to integrate into your game at a young age?
Probably just their technique and their like speed off the ball and their just aggressiveness,
Okay. You know
because all three of
already,
them have.
huh?
I said all three of them have like a really good motor and very aggressive.
Absolutely. As being a successful student athlete, that adversity is something we all have to deal with. Give me an example, either personally or dealing with football, when you had to overcome some type of adversity.
Um, probably probably the JP2 game when we lost. That was a lot of like adversity, but probably in life, probably when I lost my grandpa because we were on a trip and like we were going to we were like a family trip and he died.
Sorry to hear that. And how do you use that to motivate you as you get ready for the school season for the fall?
Um, I just built on it and just it made me a better person overall.
Okay. Simple question that coaches will ask you eventually when you get to the recruiting window, but coach, are going to ask you, why do you love football?
Why I love football is because you can impose your will on like another human and nobody can stop you. And it also and like you can also use it as like a tool to take you anywhere you really want to go.
So you see football as an enabler for not only education but to be successful in life.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I like it. Uh, One of the things I like to see is, understand is when did you start playing? You guys that came in late, like in middle school, or did you play this game very young at 6, 7, 8 at Pop Warner? Give us a little bit about when you first started playing the great game of football.
Um, so I think I joined this team called the Razorbacks when I was about like 10, maybe,
Okay.
maybe 9 or 10. And
Hmm.
my dad coached that team, and I think we only won one game. But then I played on that team for like about 2 years, and then I switched to some like a different team, and then we like won all of our games.
Okay. Hey, tell me a little bit about your. I know right now we're inside with COVID-19, but tell me about. Are you a big shoe guy? How's your shoe game looking? What are you rocking on your feet when you're out hanging out with your friends or your girlfriend or whatever?
I'm a really big sneakerhead. I probably got like 60 plus sneakers.
Wow.
Um, but my go-to like just to slip on that are like comfortable are probably like triple black Yeezys. But then like if I'm just like going out and like trying to look good, I'd probably just throw on like a pair of Jordans or something with some
Okay.
jeans.
All right. So your game is serious with 60 pairs of shoes. That's awesome. Let's
Yeah.
fast forward to the fall. You're getting ready for a big game. What are you listening to? What's on your playlist? What artists you listen to get you hyped for during pregame?
Um, so I have my own playlist that I made, and like I put like a couple of songs on there. It's called like In and Out and like Dreams and Nightmares, and let me think like some more that are on there. Um 1942 Flows by Meek Mill,
Hmm.
and like probably like Brooklyn Zoo. Those are
Okay.
all really good.
All right. Talk to me about leadership, Caleb. I saw a little bit of you down in Naples, but talk about how you lead, even as only going to be a sophomore into your sophomore year here in high school. Talk to me about leadership. Talk to me how you define it and how you do it with your teammates.
So I importance leadership and like I just try and lead by action. So like if like I feel like if there's like trash in the locker room, I just pick it up, and if somebody else sees me doing that, maybe they'll do it. And like on the field, I just try and like critique like our freshmen that like don't know too much about the game and try and help them and build them into a better player.
Okay. Tell me, besides your parents, who are some of the more influential people in your life? Who's had a positive impact on you outside of your parents?
Um, Probably my most of my coaches throughout the years. um, Most of my family. Um, but um, Probably most of my coaches because they've influenced me a lot in the like in football.
Okay. Let me ask the question a little bit differently. Let's say it's after high school and after college. We just got done watching the draft a few weeks ago. You are in New York City. You're waiting for your name to be called in the NFL draft. Who is sitting at your table?
Um, Probably my parents, and then probably like my position coach now because I'm really like close with him, so I probably would want him there because he's played in it like a big part of my life and made me into a really good player, and probably my little brother.
Okay. Let's talk about your family a little bit. Are you an only child, or you got a younger brother? You're the oldest, the youngest, in the middle. Tell me about where you are in your family.
I'm the oldest right now, and I have like a younger brother. He's 4. His name's Jackson.
Mhm. Tell me about the importance you put on being a good example of a big brother. What do you do to help your little brother be successful based on what you've learned?
I've actually like put him in a weight room like twice just
Okay.
for fun, like, And but I just try and set like good examples for him, and like show him like what's wrong and like what's right.
Okay. Tell me, from a community standpoint, Caleb, what do you what do you do to give back to your community? Are you involved in your church? Are you involved in a Boys and Girls Club? Do you do things around the neighborhood? What do you do to give back?
I'm involved in my church a lot. Like I was involved in my church a lot until this stuff started happening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I got confirmed in my church. That was a big like thing for me like 2 years ago or like a year ago. And I don't know, like for school we have to do like a bunch of like social hours. So like so I'll do a lot of those throughout the community and stuff, like give back to the food banks and um like I remember we did the Tarrant area food bank, and you just had like to sort through like food and like put it in different baskets and stuff.
Okay. As we finish up here, Caleb, tell me, what is the learning style that you like best? Are you a verbal learner, visual, or physical?
I'm probably like a visual slash physical. Like I need to see it happen and be able to like do it.
Okay. Is that both in the classroom and on the field, or just on the field?
Both
Okay.
probably.
Last question, then we'll finish up here. It's a simple question, but coaches will ask you this. Why do you think your game translates to the college level?
Um, I think I'll just be ready, like ready for college, just because all the work I've put in now, and like the leadership that I'll grow throughout the years. Like I have really good leadership now, but I'll grow more throughout the years, and I want to bring that into college ball.
Okay. Well, we talked about this when we first started, but I'll ask you, there's a thing called an elevator pitch. You've got 30 seconds in front of the head coach for Alabama, Texas, SMU, Florida, wherever. Tell us in 30 seconds why a coach should recruit and offer you to come to their university.
That I'll bring leadership. I work so hard, and that um like my personality to other people is just like beyond.
Okay. What about from an academic standpoint? What are you going to bring to my program from that standpoint?
I'm gonna bring like really good grades. I try and maintain my grades as much as I can and not let them slip. So like I'll bring my really good grades, and I'll keep up with those grades. And I don't think a coach should ever have to get on to me about my grades, because I'll be on it first before he even gets to it.
Okay. I like it. Well, Caleb, man, thanks for your time. I'm looking forward to seeing you play this fall. Continue to be safe, continue working hard, and we'll see you soon. If you ever need anything, you know to reach out to me, okay?
Thank you, coach.
All right. Thanks, Caleb. Have a good day.
You too.